I can feel it.
Well, we are landing in Cancun, guys, and we will be giving you a full review of the amazing HYATT ZIVA Resort. But first, obviously, to get to your resort, you have to navigate through the airport. Many online guides, as well as the transfer company I used, warned of so-called pirates in the airport that hassle you and try to sell your stuff or even pretend to be your tour operator and take your money. To be honest, I didn't encounter any of that. Maybe I look too unapproachable. We used a company called USA Transfers to get from the airport to the hotel. This video is not sponsored by them, but some people may wonder if the company they are using is legitimate, so for your information, USA Transfers service is good and costs $80 or so return from the airport to the hotel zone, about half what the hotel quoted me. Upon arriving at the hotel, this is what you are greeted with. Baby credit shifu number 1 literally made a run for it and tried to jump straight in the pool. But I don't blame her, this resort is pretty incredible. It has 10 dining venues, 7 bars and lounges, 3 infinity pools and a private beach, as well as unlimited food and drink. But first, let's take a look at the room. We booked a garden view room with 2 queen beds. It costs 25 HYATT points per night, so that's 50,000 for 2 nights, and then we booked another night with money for about $490. In the room, you'll find a large TV, some quite interesting artworks and ornaments. There's this little bench for hanging out on, the usual phone and alarm clock. There's a ceiling fan, a desk you can use for your laptop, but the best thing is the doors open out onto this view. I asked the bellboy, isn't this a sea view room?
Cause I know you're out there somewhere.
But this is apparently what is listed as a garden view on their website, since there is a garden before you get to the sea. The bathroom is classy but lacks a bathtub. There was one defect in the bathroom that I'll talk about later in the video. Now to the pools and the beach.
I'll be right there all of a sudden. I feel your heartbeat lead me straight to you. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me. It's like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there.
The first area we checked out was one of the 2 private beaches. The water is incredibly clear and you can see little fish swimming all over the place. This is the beach with the lighthouse, which is one of the iconic features of this hotel. Next, we checked out the main pool by our side of the hotel. This pool actually has a swim-up bar. There are bar stools under the water. I really love this feature. For kids, they have this mini water park. Adults aren't allowed on the slides, by the way. I got in trouble for this shot. Then, for an extra charge, you can also swim with dolphins in a pool right next to the kids' water park. Back on the beach, you can borrow kayaks and paddleboards. I didn't do this because we had 2 kids to take care of, but they do have this big white mountain thing that I was curious about the whole trip, so on our last day, I decided to climb it. There were a couple of amateurs struggling to get on at the bottom, but fun fact, Credit Shifu is a qualified rock climbing instructor, so it was a piece of cake, even with one hand while I filmed. Very wobbly though. I'm on the top of the big white thing. And see down there, the sea.
I'm still feeling like someone's with me. It's strange, I know, but I feel like
1, 2, 3. When we came back to the room from the beach on our second day, we were treated to a surprise. And we came back from outside to discover that, wow, they have done this wonderful romantic gesture on the beds. We said it's our anniversary. You should always say it's some kind of event when you're staying in a hotel. And it actually is our anniversary. We didn't just lie about that. It is our anniversary later in the month. So we said it's we're here for our anniversary. And look what they did. This wonderful, beautiful, romantic rose petals on the bed. Isn't that nice? Now let's have a look at the restaurants. The first night we ate at the buffet called El Mercado. A great selection. I particularly like the grilled steak and lamb. We had breakfast at Tradewinds, which is a bit more of an upmarket feel. We discovered baby credit shifu number 2 likes some weird foods. What are you eating? Onions? How are they? Are they good? Do you love it? Yeah, you love it, right? Oh, you dropped it on the floor.
patient, waiting on who.
On the second night, we had dinner at Moongate, an Asian-themed restaurant where they have tiebanshao or hibachi grill. It's pretty impressive with massive flames and chefs that chop up the food right in front of you, but if you've had tiebanshao in Asia, I've had it in Taiwan and Japan, you won't find this authentic at all. I actually just ordered some pretty plain beef cooked in a wok, and it was really tasty because the meat was good quality. For lunch, we ate at the taco place right on the beach. This was one of my favorites. Then for snacks, every day we would swing by Pastales. It's a candy shop with sweets, cakes, and a chocolate fountain. I would get my cappuccino at Casa del Cafe right next door. The coffee is really good, but they show fake news on the TV. Even though it's all inclusive, I do recommend tipping. We withdrew $80 from the ATM in the hotel using the Charles Schwab debit card. The ATM charges a $12 fee, but the Schwab card refunds those fees, so it's a real must-have for overseas withdrawals. We then took the US dollars to reception and they converted them into pesos for us to use for tipping and buying stuff at the market. It's nice to have lots of 20 peso bills to give out as tips. I would often give 20 at the coffee shop and leave 40 on the table after a meal. If the staff saw me tip, they would always put their hand on their heart to thank me, which I thought was a very nice touch. On our second day, we went out to a local market within walking distance of the hotel. This is a rather intense experience. Every store wants to use high-pressure sales techniques to get you to buy stuff.
We're good, thank you.
And all the prices are overinflated, so you absolutely have to haggle. Start at half the price they originally quote.
200 for you, mama.
We're finished, thank you.
They might haggle you back up a bit, but I wouldn't recommend going above 65% of the listed price for the item. Hidden amongst vile tat, you can find some actual nice stuff with cultural value.
What did you get? Let's see. Looks good. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, I love it.
But if you're easily convinced to buy things, I would suggest you limit your time here. Other than this market, the surrounding area doesn't have much to offer. Do you really want to come all the way to Mexico only to eat at Hard Rock Cafe or Hooters? You can do that at home, if that's your thing.
I can feel it.
Now let's conclude this review. There were only a few things I didn't like about this hotel.
So the only thing about this room that really sucked was listen to this. Can you hear that? The toilet is kind of making a sort of shh, shh, shh kind of noise. And literally it does this all the time. Like I think the system is leaking water into the bowl, right? So that it's automatically filling up a little bit, literally all the time. So the other night when I was sleeping, I was hearing this noise. I hate annoying noises when I'm trying to sleep. And I had to do something about it. And here, look, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can really see that, but it's actually constantly just pumping water. And what happens though, if you pull this, it stops. So, you know, I was thinking about what I could do, right? I mean, you could go and talk to reception about it, and I'm sure they'd offer to give you a new room. I mean that, or they'd send a plumber, but that's probably not likely. They're not likely going to be able to fix it within a short period of time. So they'd probably just offer you a new room. Now, I can't be bothered to change rooms. Look how much stuff is already like all over this place. I mean, for us to like already clear up the room and go and leave, I don't think that's going to happen. So what I did, I devised this little hack where I use this, and I just kind of put it. Oh, I need 2 hands to do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it and then we'll cut. Okay, there we go, it's done. So basically I just fix it by putting that in the system to force this thing to stay up. So yeah, that was the only bad thing about the Hyatt, but really it's a tiny thing, and I am totally sure that if you went to reception and asked them about it, they would probably let you change rooms. So it's really not a big deal. It's just that I would prefer to fix it myself through something like this, rather than go through the hassle of actually having to change rooms. But other than that, it is actually a very nice bathroom.
Then there was one other thing.
Yeah, so this is the wonderful Paradise Beach. Have a look over there, you can see the lighthouse and everything, very, very beautiful. And the thing about this place is so the sun sets like over the land, so it doesn't set over the sea. It sets like behind some buildings over there. We won't show it because it's going to be really bright over there, but we're coming up to sunset now, so you don't really get that nice sunset like you do in the Cayman Islands, because that faces west, whereas this faces east, so you get the sunrise, which is what we saw with the drone shots, but you have to get up at like 6 a.m. to see it, so it's not, from that point of view, it's not that great, but you know, the beach does look beautiful in the sunset, so just check it out.
This meant I had to get up at about 6 a.m. to get these beautiful shots. It was worth it, but I'm definitely more of a sunset guy than a sunriser. The beach does look beautiful at sunset, but you don't get to see the sunset over the sea. In total, this hotel was amazing. Not as high class as the Ritz-Carlton in Grand Cayman, my most recent trip to the Caribbean before this one, but it was a lot of fun. The fact that it's all-inclusive means you can order whatever you want without having any thought of how badly your wallet will be hit or if your credit card will be maxed out. If you come with kids, you'll meet a lot of other families who are up for hanging out. All round, it's an amazing vacation atmosphere. The staff are very friendly and speak English to a reasonable level. I did speak some Spanish while I was there, but actually I wish I had brushed up on my Spanish a bit more before I went. Some of the waiters were very happy to hear me speak a few words and really encouraged me to practice my Spanish with them, and I wish I could have taken it beyond the basics. So I would thoroughly recommend this resort. It's a great use of your HYATT points. If you got the HYATT credit card from Chase, the sign-up bonus will put you at almost 2 nights here. I would recommend 3 nights though. In total, using points and a little bit of cash for the hotel and a business class flight from New York, I got a $4,000 vacation for about $1,000. Guys, if you're interested in getting these amazing experiences for free or at a huge discount, why not check out our selection of travel and hotel credit cards from our partners in the links below. I'll leave you with a few more shots of this incredible hotel.